I bet you can't guess what my favorite color is. It's purple. Hi, I'm Jen, and welcome to my podcast. Hi, I'm Jen, the podcast where I talk about whatever I want because I'm alone in my house and there's nobody to stop me. Been nearly a full month, like a full 4 weeks since I've been fired. And wow, it really is. I have to take it day by day. Some days I'm incredibly productive and just rapid fire editing my resume, rapid fire submitting applications, and it's wonderful. And then there are some days when it's like, how am I going to pay my bills? Let's stress eat food on the couch. Let's live in the same purple sweatsuit for 3+ days. So that's kind of how today has been going. I know that there is so much more I could be doing, but my brain is not having it. I'm not sleeping the greatest, and really trying to take care of myself as much as possible. Honestly, the thing that has been a bigger help than anything else has been this thing that I downloaded. It's called the Finch App. Not sponsored, but I'm open to it. And the premise is similar to any other self-care app, I imagine. It's not the only one out there that exists, but it's the one that I chose to use. And the premise is, by taking care of yourself, provided that you do it honestly, by taking care of yourself, you are growing and nurturing and taking care of this little bird. And without you taking care of yourself, this little bird couldn't grow up and experience the world. So this little bird that I've been taking care of, he's hanging out in Japan right now learning about Japanese toilets, and I love that for him. Snacking on some spicy onigiri. I love that for him. It seems ridiculous that as a full-grown adult, I need this phone app to remind myself to be human. But if I didn't have this app, for one thing, I definitely would not be making my bed. That is not something that I did growing up. It's not something that I ever had interest in as an adult. But it was a suggested goal to achieve every day on the app, like an easy way to be like, yep, I checked this off the list. So because of that app, I make my bed now, like a real adult. It'll remind me to drink water. It'll remind me to stretch out my body. It'll remind me to move my body. It'll remind me to put nutritious food in my body. It'll remind me to do something that brings me joy, or even just think of something that brings me joy, or at the bare minimum, just reflect on anything at any point that has ever brought me joy. And that kind of micro journaling aspect of it, in addition to the like the instant gratification of like checking something off of a list. It really has been helpful in keeping me from falling headfirst into that deep, dark abyss that is depression. I mean, I'm still going through it, but things like the Finch app really helped me solidify, I'm gonna get out of this. I'm gonna make it through to the other side. It's rough right now, but it doesn't have to stay rough, and I can choose, you know, what I'm gonna do to get myself out of it. Yeah. And some of the little micro journaling, and I call them micro journaling because it's just like a quick prompt, and I can definitely get out, you know, 2 or 3 sentences about that. And as a child, I used to journal, but kind of lost that as an adult. But even this, if you really wanted to call it journaling, you could, because it's getting the stupid thoughts that are stuck inside of my head outside of my head. And that's all that really matters. Whether I'm talking to myself in a corner of my house, or if I'm actually pen to paper putting it in a journal, or if I'm just, you know, texting out a couple of sentences in an app. The important part is that it's coming out of me. It's not just festering in my head and, you know, diluting all of the other parts of me that make me me. You know, some of the highlights from being unemployed, finding that app. You know, some of the highlights of being unemployed is, you know, that's the sound of one of my cats vomiting. My baby boy just got sick. I don't know why. They just ate too much too quickly. He's also the hairball king. Beautiful life of cats. Beautiful life with cats. I have no idea what we were talking about. What positivities from being unemployed? You know, the stress of that ridiculous, stupid job off my plate. I have time to focus on things that truly do spark my passion. Like, I'm playing the bass guitar again. I don't think I've done that for years, which is embarrassing. You know, I'm playing the keyboard again, which I was never good at to begin with, but now I'm like, I have no excuse not to do this, not to put fingers to keys and at least make some music. You know, I sing in a local band in Oklahoma City, and, you know, having this time is allowing me to invest more in the band, in promoting it on social media and going to other bars and seeing, you know, what's it going to take to get us booked at your venue. It's giving me time to work on myself, and so that I don't get lost in the corporate bullshit ever again. And if I do, I'll definitely have a whole list of resources to help me get through it again. You know, I don't doubt that the next job I get will also be another corporate job, and that once the novelty wears off, it's going to start to wear me down, and I'm going to get frustrated again, and I'm going to get stressed out again, and I'm going to reach burnout again. But now I know, now that I've experienced it, I've come out on the other end. I know what signs to look for. I know how to combat it independently. I know who to reach out to for help. I know how to ask for help. I know what questions to ask. You know, this was a lesson. This was a very clear lesson that I had to learn, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm not wasting this life lesson otherwise. I'm making the most of it. I do miss working, though, not gonna lie. Because I like to be productive. I like to have something, to have some kind of purpose. You know, I couldn't survive just doing nothing every day. I really couldn't. I would go crazy. And thankfully I haven't done that yet. I've definitely done some stupid stuff while I've been unemployed, like turning election night into a drinking game, and then following through with said drinking game, and then, you know, hilarity ensues. You know, very proud of that. Yeah, just trying to really maintain some of that normalcy. You know, it's just also giving me more time to go to the gym more often, and in times during the day that I normally wouldn't be able to go, which has been really nice. And like go to happy hours with some of my old coworkers. You know, this is the first time in the almost 3 years we've known each other, me and my coworkers, my former coworkers, because they actually left the company that I was fired from well before I was fired, and we were never able to get together for happy hour because I was always working late, because I was letting this company suck my soul straight out of my body. And so now we have a big group that are going to meet up this weekend for brunch at Pearl's, a restaurant that I haven't been to in the 2.5 years I've been living in Oklahoma City again. So that's very exciting. You know, just really looking on the bright side of things. You know, before I started talking to this camera alone in my house, I was just sulking on the couch, you know, eating Cheez-Its and just watching cartoons, because that's what makes me feel better. And I was like, wow, today really sucks, but let's go talk about it while I have the opportunity to, because, you know, I have some good lighting going on right now. And you know, there's minimal background noise and whatnot, and let's just clear my head. And what's funny about that is I was kind of had this intention of doing like a before and after, because what I'm doing this evening is going to a comedy show alone, which is something that I haven't done in quite a while. I think the last time I went to the Bricktown Comedy Club and saw a comedy act by myself was when, I think his name is Ali Sadiq, played at the Bricktown Comedy Club, and it was a great time. This time it's Ron Funches at the Bricktown Comedy Club, and I'm not familiar with a lot of his material, but I know for a fact he's funny. So I'm excited to go to the Bricktown Comedy Club this evening enjoy that, just, you know, be in a place where other people love comedy and we're all just laughing and, you know, having a good time. So I was going to use this as an opportunity to do like a before and after. Like, this is Jenn before, in her feels, living in her big purple sweatshirt that is 3 sizes too big, which makes it lovely, but is also a big downfall because somehow I keep getting food all over my sleeves. But because the armpit is like where my elbow is, that's how big this thing is. That's like the seam where your shoulder should be. That's my elbow. This is a tent. But yeah, wanted to do it before and after. Yeah, this is Jenn before the comedy show, and then coming back later today, and this is me after the comedy show, and I bet I'm gonna be so inspired and so motivated and just with my spirits lifted and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, because I know that my friend and I, we went to go see Bianca Del Rio in Oklahoma City. That was much earlier this year, much earlier in 2024. I don't remember the exact date. But afterward, I remember coming home and like just writing down a whole bunch of jokes. And I don't know why, but something in me was like, yeah, since I don't feel like I need therapy right now. I mean, that's not honest. I know for a fact I always need therapy. I was like, yeah, I can't find a therapist. I can't, you know, making all these excuses to not actually go find myself an affordable therapist. And I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start writing down some material, and then I'm just going to go perform at the Tuesday open mic night at the Bricktown Comedy Club, and that will be my version of free therapy. And I kind of get the feeling I'm going to kind of repeat that tonight after seeing the set. I'm kind of hoping that's what's going to happen because I really want that boost of motivation. Because I still very much struggle with the idea of discipline. Because discipline ensures that you maintain that consistency, whereas motivation is I can only act, I can only be productive if I'm motivated. And if your motivation is wavering, then you have no chance of consistency. Discipline builds in that routine, builds in that consistency, and I struggle with that discipline. So until we get to that place in my life where I can be disciplined and can have consistency, yeah, we ride that motivation wave, and we'll see how it goes. I was kind of doing this before and after thing where I recorded myself earlier today. I wasn't really feeling it. I was in my very soothing, very comfortable purple sweatsuit outfit from Savage X Fenty. Not sponsored, but I'm open to it. And it was before I was going to go see a comedy show on my own. And this is me after the fact. And yeah, I was right. I'm glad that I decided to go. I'm glad that I did that. I went to go see Ron Funches. If you don't know who Ron Funches is, shame on you, because he is a national treasure at this point. He is so freaking hilarious, and he has that perfect comedic timing, and that is like the hardest thing to nail down for any comedian. And his timing is just, it's delicious. I don't know how else to describe it. That's the word that I'm going with right now, and deal with it. So saw him at the Bricktown Comedy Club in downtown Oklahoma City. And so glad that he brought his talents here. I'm so happy that Oklahoma City has a venue that will bring in comedians of his caliber. And it's not the only venue we have that will do that. Like the Tower Theater, we have a lot of comedians, a lot of musical acts coming there. The Criterion will have a lot of comedic acts and musicians coming through. Even the Paycom Center will. And I'm just always so thankful anytime we get a really great fucking comedian or musician or any other kind of artist coming through Oklahoma City. We need it, and we appreciate it. So saw Ron Funches at the Bricktown Comedy Club. He was nice enough to even do like a little meet and greet afterwards where you got your picture taken with him, and so I did, and I look like a total goon, which is just goes to show like how much I was laughing, how hard I was laughing. I was, in tears. I was doubled over with laughter. It was great. He was so good. And his opener, Dayton Bissett, I believe, really, really funny guy as well. I bought his book, and if you see him, you should buy his book as well. So came back from the comedy club, feeling like $1,000,000. Don't want the night to end, but it's got to, so that I can go tackle tomorrow. I've always gravitated towards comedy. When they say that it's the best medicine, it really is. I will not hesitate to watch a new comedy or see a new comedian or watch a new comedy sitcom or what have you. I very much prefer comedy because I don't laugh that often in my normal life. So I need something that's going to introduce more laughter to my life. And screw the idea of adding more drama to my life. That's not even my drama. Like anytime people get really, really invested in dramatic shows, I'm like, I cannot. I will wait until the hype is over, and then I will go watch it, where I can watch it all at once and digest it all at once, and then whoopity whoop, and there you go. So for instance, I still have not seen Scandal, and I know that I need to watch Scandal, but I can't handle that drama. I need comedy in my life. I really, really do. I need comedy in my life. So God bless folks like Ron Funches for bringing that comedy into my life. I honestly I feel guilty admitting it because I know that he's done so much more than the two things that I fell in love with him in. First time I saw Ron Funches was on New Girl, where he just plays this unhoused character on the street, and he comes up to Lamorne, the actor that plays Winston, and he's on a date with somebody. It's just a quick 30-second flashback scene, and Ron Funches just comes up and interrupts their date and just starts singing Father Figure by George Michaels, and I was laughing so hard during the whole time, because again, a lot of it is just that comedic timing that made it. It was the song choice that made it, because my friends don't know about that song, but I'm in that age bracket where of course I know about that song, and hearing him sing it seductively to these two people who are clearly on a date, and watching both of those actors really struggling to hold it together, holy hell, so fucking hilarious. So that was what really imprinted on me when it came to like Ron Funches, and then of course Horseplay, Bob's Burgers. But everything else that he's done as well, you know, like being on like the Conan O'Brien show, and I haven't seen Loot yet because I don't have Apple Plus or Apple TV or whatever it's called, Apple Core, yeah, I don't have it, but I know that Maya Rudolph's on that show, and so now I have like an even bigger excuse to go start spending money so that I can start streaming Apple TV, so I can watch that show. And of course, he's also in Inside Out 2, but he's really fucking funny, and you should really check him out. Again, if you don't know who he is, shame on you. Since I went about this a little weird and did like a before and after, you know, I'm kind of getting off of my formula, but I'll still share with you a daily affirmation and a daily song. I feel like I already did that earlier though. I honestly can't remember now. I must have, because I know that I was talking about Megan Thee Stallion earlier. I don't think that was yesterday. I think that was earlier today. I can't keep shit straight. Fuck everything. Nope. I'm just not even going to force it because I have nothing prepared, and I'm not going to half-ass it. So yeah, we're going to end it there. I will say this. Thanks for tuning in. Hi, I'm Jen. I'll see you next Tuesday.